The Brandon Peters Show may contain explicit language and detailed plot points. For more information on the show, stay tuned to the end of the episode. And now, here's Brandon.
Welcome to Old Space Show. I'm Brandon, and riding shotgun is Tony.
Howdy, howdy. Here we are. We're just keep cruising down the road.
Oh, yeah. All through all, 22, 3 episodes of Knight Rider Season 1.
Yeah. We're going to make it.
Yes, this series, Old Space Show, follows the exploits of Amanda's car, first season of Knight Rider. Today, we are here to discuss the 12th episode, A Plush Ride.
Oh, sounds so cushy and fancy here. Yes. Devin Miles has organized an anti-terrorism treaty between 3 rather unstable third world nations. Michael is assigned to find a plant and possible hitman amongst the security team. He joins them during their special training session at Redmond's Victory Academy.
All right. This one is directed by Sidney Hayers, written by Gregory S. Dinallo. This is the first of 6 episodes he'd write. He'd also be a script consultant for 7 more of them. It stars David Hasselhoff, Edward Mulhare, Patricia McPherson, William Daniels, William Lucking, Wendy Fulton, Hector Elias, Michael Carvin, and M.C. Gainey. Who is this Devin guy negotiating peace treaties? I thought they were some super secret, mission-based organization, but
yeah, we've reached the part of the season here where they can't keep doing the same car chasey small town help the damsel in distress thing. The writers, God love them, had to start stretching a little bit. So sure, why not make Devin a weird undercover diplomat thing? It's a really interesting plot device. I mean, you have to take it with a grain of salt in a show about a talking self-driving car. You got to do what you got to do. This kicks off a weird little stretch of international themed politics episodes here.
Right.
So it is what it is. It's mid-season post sweeps, and you got to get through them. So
the back 9 is probably ordered for 12, and they're like, all right, well, once the big premiere was a hit, they probably ordered the back 9. Well, what do we do now? Which we talked earlier, show Planet of the Apes that Russell McGee and I talked last year. It didn't get the back 9. It had preparations for 3 to 5 episodes that would be next in succession. A couple of them had full scripts, a couple outline ideas, but you should prepare for, well, what are you going to do now? But that one did not get to happen. Knight Rider got that to happen.
Well, it's interesting that to go back and watch shows like this here at Old Space Show, where you get to go back and revisit these 24-hour-long episodes in a season where that was the norm, and then you sit down today and you're going to binge a 7-episode, 35 minutes a piece season, and that's called essentially you string that together as a giant movie. Or even the biggest series these days, you're probably capping out at 12 episodes of an hour a piece, season by season. So it's definitely an interesting juxtaposition for sure.
Network shows are still going strong with a lot of the 20 to 22 episode seasons, but you get outside of that, that's not happening. And many are made with limited seasons involved, like Andor on Disney Plus is only planned for 2 seasons. The people who do The Last of Us said if this one continues, they will not go further than the games. But there's a lot of shows with limited, like Stranger Things only had a certain amount planned. So, but Knight Rider, I think the idea is just, we'll just keep this going as long as we can. If they go 10, we go 10.
Sure,
that's what you wanted back in the day.
Yeah, you just wanted to be as indestructible as Kit, I guess. If you've got a car that technically can't die, then why not keep it going? I'm sure they had alternate plans in place, like if Hasselhoff like opted out contract wise or something happened. Like, you can find a new driver. Like, this is almost like the Doctor Who of American television here. You can just keep it going with new drivers. Why not?
Yeah, but unlike a lot of science fiction shows too, like you're talking about, Knight Rider's a bit more challenged because it can't go to a different planet every week and rehash things that way, or it can rehash things, but it's a bit more monotonous than like your Star Treks, where you can, or Space 1999s, where it's different planets, different beings. Like, it's
You're right. I think they could have. Again, this is pure speculation, but if they would have had to have a shift away from Hasselhoff as the main character or whatever, they could have. But like, oh, Kit's going to Britain, or what? He's driving on the wrong side of the road, like you do the culture shift instead of the planetary shift, I guess. But even that would have worn thin after a while, I imagine. So
you could all. I mean, you could also, while still with Michael, I guess an idea would be like send him over there for like a 3-part episode where they go to the UK or something like that. That'd be sell the shit. That'd be good. For when it comes to syndication, selling the show overseas, that's what you do. You go and set it to where you're trying to market.
You're right. Well, the way that I'm watching, I was watching something on NBC this past weekend, and I saw commercials for brand new series of the updated Quantum Leap and the updated Magnum PI. So there's no saying that Knight Rider just couldn't come back on the air someday. That's the way we're trending right now.
They've tried, so we will see. It's always there.
Knight Rider 90 or what? Knight Rider 2020.
Yeah, like, ooh, the car talks. No,
wait a minute. Yeah, we got to get fancier than that.
It drives itself. Okay.
And then
it's a Tesla or what is it? Yeah.
It has a computer in it. Okay. Go on.
Can facially recognize people. Okay. Well, I guess he's got his phone, but we could guess the car would help with that. Yeah. Kind of funny. You could make a comedy show off of it. Make a parody Knight Rider.
I suppose you could.
So
yeah.
Speaking of not Kit, like Michael has to like ditch Kit to drive Devin around, and I don't. Yeah. Is it just for this one action scene so he can get his ass beat? Like I
genuinely thought when I started rewatching the episode, I couldn't remember. I was like, is this like this episode's gimmick? Are they gonna is this a non-Kit episode? And then of course he came back and after this first weird chasing, but I think they had to, the goal plot wise was to allow Michael to prove his mettle as a driver just on his own, with his own merit, not depending upon a self-driving car or whatever. That way he could earn the trust of this group that he had to get into at the Victory Academy. So it was an interesting little thing. And, it was, he's driving Cadillac? That thing was a boat compared to it. I mean, it was huge.
And he was all dressed right. He's in his leather jacket and stuff with it. Like, he just looks uncomfortable, which is kind of funny. But this episode tries to incorporate a couple that tries to incorporate this countdown to the summit that plays. That's just kind of, I don't know, added there. Like, I never really felt the crunch for time like it's trying to add there. I think another episode previously did it better, but
there was you're right, because it starts and it was a weird countdown too, because first of all, this is a 48-minute show, so everything can be self-contained, and I'm pretty sure the first part of the countdown was like day 1, 10 days before the conference. I'm like, 10 days?
10 days?
What are we gonna do for this next hour? Like, this is, and then by the end it was like, what, 10 hours to the conference. I'm like, we are moving at a weird pace here. This does not make any sense to me. So that's why I agree with you. I don't think the sense of urgency was there, because like, within 45 minutes time, like, we're going to hit that end. Like, this isn't like 24, like, you don't have that sense of urgency built in.
And another recurring thing in this episode, Michael telling Kit to shut up. Like, Kit, shut up.
We're definitely getting a lot more banter as the show progresses, which I appreciate. But Kit, a lot of shut ups and things like that. So
So basically, there's this little military operation that Michael's supposed to go and hang out at and determine which one of them is like a spy that's going to mess up this conference with like an assassination or something.
Yeah, there was the leaders from the super vague leaders from third world countries were getting together. I mean, you couldn't be any more deliberately anonymous in this general setting type of thing here. So.
Mm-hmm. And yeah, they're all there. Michael's trying to figure out who did it. Their Kit's there trying to bust into it. He plays like they have beers, cigarettes, and cards together. He's like and there's a hilarious little voiceover with Michael's like going over like a letter to Devin about all the people, and he's like, Redman, he's a genius in denims. Is one of the people but he like gives a lowdown on all these people. Of course, it's all dudes and like one woman. Like that's always the case in these.
Always a girl, and of course, the female is the first one he meets when he rolls into the Victory Academy. She just happens to be, right next to him. So a perfect opportunity for him to, I think in the voiceover, he said she's the brains of the operation, or something like that. So it's they're trying to not set her up as like the eye candy, but like, what do you expect when it's 6 dudes and 1 girl?
Right. Right. And then they sets up this this meeting with Devin at the Buckaroo Club.
Yes.
And Bonnie shows up with a cowgirl hat on, just like, hey, oh man.
Michael was so shocked he stopped he was eating his chili. He stopped mid chili to gape at Bonnie, and then of course they found Devin in a 10-gallon hat as well. I mean, Devin, you look ridiculous. Just like, I put a British guy in a cowboy hat. This is gonna play well with the American audience.
You're gonna love this. Water cooler. Did you see Night Rare last night? Yep. That Devin in the hat. Oh man. Nothing like a British guy in a cowboy hat, I'll tell you what.
So funny.
So like they end up like Margot, she like sneaks into Michael's room, and he has this line of, "Are you armed, or do I have to embarrass both of us with a frisk?"
Yes, right. Like that's all he. Right. Yeah, because he breaks into her room. She comes in the room, and then he like tackles her, like indignant. And she's like, "What are you doing in my room?" It's like he is treating her like she's like the intruder, and he's technically the one breaking and entering. So
and then they have this big scenario where like the Jacobs, one of them, is revealed to be the assassin shot dead by Margot. But you're sitting there like, but was he really? And then Michael like packs up to go, and as he's leaving, he like sucks face with Margot in front of everybody, is like out. I was like, what is this? Like
they really shoehorned in the girl of the week this week.
I was like, what did something happen? Did they delete scenes from this? Like they stumbled into his room, but like there was nothing going on there before this. And he's just like, whoa, later. And so then, and then when he leaves and he's inside Kit, he's like, dawns on him that like, you know what? I don't think something's right here. But and he finds out Jacobs is alive, and it was all of them, not just one.
Now that I do appreciate that as a plot twist. It's I mean, it's a little thin, because you would think that if it was all of them, there would have been more clues, and it didn't quite make sense earlier when Margot goes back and says someone's shooting it. I mean, that's a long way to go just to make people believe that you're not part of it. But especially at that point when you reveal yourselves like 3 minutes later, what are you gonna do?
It feels smarter than I would think the show would come up with. I think
you're right.
Yeah, I definitely didn't buy the Jacobs thing. I'm like, well, we have how much time left in this episode? There's something else with this. So
yes, it was less formulaic than it could have been, which I appreciate.
I was looking for more so that either someone set up Jacobs and wasn't it, or that Jacobs was with somebody. It was 2 of them, and the partner shot them to get off the trail. That's what I thought we were going through. Not all of them, so decent surprise there. But they try to kill Michael by putting him in Kit and rolling him down a hill while he's passed out. But then Michael,
I mean, well, I was just gonna say, that you have to have these. I mean, if you want to kill them, obviously they've proven that, like, they were literally minutes in the show, minutes before, they were literally comfortable shooting at him with live rounds, like from 10 feet away. But now they're not comfortable just shooting him in the head. They're like, let's, it's it's a plot device, right? So it has to, and of course it's the world's longest, only semi-slopiest hill, plenty of time for Kit to wake Michael up with the oxygen in the car and be like, hey, Michael, we can't stop, but I'm going to need you to help me because this hill's going to run out in another 7 minutes. So, but that's okay. It is what it is.
I get you. So they go in this big chase where like all the people have their own cars, like another Fast and Furious thing where they're trying to do a mission and everybody's in their own cars communicating CB. Michael's got like a video game, like an Atari video racing game as display. Side scroller. It's kind of awesome.
We get the video game this episode, and spoiler alert, we get it next episode too.
Oh yeah, we get a different video game. Yeah,
it's very RC Pro-Am. I mean, it's you've got your Atari. It's not impressive at all, but at least they're communicating via CB, because I know earlier in the season we had someone literally a phone on corded phone in the car talking, and I'm like, this can't be that can't be a thing. So
but yeah, they all end up either crashing and blowing up, including Margot, who has a like horrid crash and burn death. He does it all, and they have a nice after party at Buckaroo.
Back to the Buckaroo Club,
Buckaroo Club.
Well, the Buckaroo Club is I found this out by reading some trivia. The Buckaroo Club is a Glenn Larson favorite. He also featured that on The Fall Guy. That was one of the bars that they would frequent. So that is a Glenn Larson little in joke, an Easter egg, I guess, if you will. So
the world of Larson.
That's right, the Larson verse, if you will. I don't know if it was anywhere on the Galactica, but I doubt it. But
so that's like Walter Hill. He's got a club that appears in all his movies, in like Streets of Fire, and like everything is like most things he's had it in. I forget what the bar's name is, but it appears in multiple Walter Hill movies. So that's kind of neat. I wish the Buckaroo would come back for Night Riders, be a central place where they just always go and have
be great.
And Devin, when we see him line dancing one time or something like that, and
it seems like a rocking good time. Yeah, they were singing. They all got to sing a song. Of course, you got you can't end the show without the borderline racist thing now of the third world country emissaries putting on cowboy hats and singing. I forget, they were singing some very
just you wait song, one of these we're recording in this block tells us a lot about Kit. But yeah, okay. But yeah, this was it's okay. Middling.
Yeah,
it's not one I'd be like, right. Oh yeah, you gotta watch Night Rider.
Yeah. This one also went to the Superman reusable stock footage well when Kit rolled up to the when he rolled up to the cliff and they panned over the canyon floor, they reused that shot from Superman as well. So yeah, we went back to the Superman well on this one. So
okay.
So yeah, I mean, it was very brief, but it was there. So
gotcha. Interesting.
Yeah.
Keep on. But was that just like available? Like trying to make
I don't know if it was
Superman. I know Superman was an expensive movie, but they were making money at the box office.
I don't know if this is like I don't know if it was a Warner Brothers share and share like thing, or if they're like, well, we paid for the Superman license, so is there anything else in there that we can use? Like they can't use him flying by or their Earth rotating backwards, but there's got to be some other generic shots we can use.
Are they going to go to a newspaper one of these times and the outside's going to be the Daily Planet? I don't know. But yeah, so Tony, that will I'll do it. So let's shift gears and look on toward the sunset. Before we hit the horizon, where can people find you?
Yeah, you can come hang out with me online on the Instagrams and the Twitters and the Facebooks, so the @Tony Schaab. And of course, if you want to read some nerdy stuff and talk some pop culture stuff, you can swing by sciencefiction.com, where I am the senior editor and we talk about all things in that pop culture realm.
All right. #driving Mr. Devin. And I'm on Twitter and Instagram at BrandForkUHD, written work on whysoblue.com. Something's going on with the show. I don't know. We're recording before I've even recorded whatever's going to be published on Monday. But you always come back here Wednesday on Old Space Show for another Night Rider adventure. That's it for now. But from Old Space,
Brandon and Tony, not so lone crusaders in a dangerous world. The world of Old Space Show.
Thank you for listening. The Brandon Peters Show is a Creative Zombie Studios production. Produced by Brad Shoemaker and Brandon Peters. Written and edited by Brandon Peters. Announcer vocals by Jessica Alsman. Theme song by Metavari. Web design and show art by Brad Shoemaker with Brandon Peters. All music and clips featured in the episode are property of their respective studios and no infringement is intended. Additional information on this and other episodes at BrandonPetersShow.com. For any inquiries, press opportunities, or sponsorship, contact mail at BrandonPetersShow.com. The show is available on Apple Music, Spotify, or anywhere podcasts are found.